Alright, I'm going to be playing in PD Fridays. I'm going to be playing as a race control, and it's basically the same list I played before, except I am playing Timeless Dragon instead of a land, which is the study, and I'm playing a trawler in the sideboard instead of Sarah Lane Drake. Alright, my opponent is playing a Yorion deck. Game 1, this could be a little rough. If they're Yorzhov, they have Tithing Blade to deal with Trawler. Ideally they aren't Yorzhov, but they'll probably be playing Wraths regardless. I'm more optimistic about the post-board games where I can play Approach, which they should have no way of interacting with, except for maybe hand hate. Looks like they might have missed a land drop. They're on the play, so it would be strange if they kept a one-lander. Okay, they're just attacking first. So they are Yorzhov, which means they're going to have 4 Tithing Blades in the main deck, and it's going to be hard to win with these trawlers. I do have Novice Inspector to protect it. I could potentially win a value game if I draw Search for Iskanta and I prevent them from resolving a Kaya. Or I could just go for the Trawler on turn 6 and hope they don't have a Wrath or Tithing Blade, but that seems like a bad idea, because they have at least 8 copies of those. I think this is a Condemn. This is probably the last matchup I want to see. I do have Approach on the board, and I just need to deal with the aggro mostly, but it can be hard to deal with their aggro plan before I can double Approach. And I do have Kaya, which is scary even if I have Approach. Okay, now my Trawler is gone. I can play the farmland. I do think that's a good play here. Kaya would be scary. I do represent a No More Lies right now. Alright. Oh, I will probably need a Wrath to deal with this. Ideally, they'll play a Guardian of Girapur or something first. I will need a Wrath sometime soon. I'm not going to pass any of these. I might pass a Shambling Vent if they attacked with it. Hopefully they'll play the Yorion next turn, so I can sweep it up in a Wrath. I might just Thassa's for a Wrath. If they play a Kaya, I'm probably just dead. No attacks with the Blades Blazer. Interesting that they care about their blink target. When if I had removal, I'd probably have to use it on that. I mean, I do have removal. Gonna need a Wrath pretty quickly. I will probably path the Golem if they remove the Novice. Otherwise I will just path the Inspector and hope to find a Wrath. Alright, block there. And path the Inspector. Get an island. I probably just want to do nothing. Or play a Kaya or something. Okay. There's a Wrath. I could have touched the Spirit Realm. There's not. I mean, I could just path that in response. I do get to counter both Kaya and Yorion, so I could just win this game on value. I'm not sure if they have an answer to Colonnade, because Saw Blades doesn't work. They might have Path in their deck, I'm not sure. I think they should have Path, so they can hit their own Novice Inspectors. But it might just be Tithing Blade, Oath of Kaya, Saw Blades. I don't actually have to counter a Yorion here. These don't do anything. And I could just path it. I'm not sure if they'll play a Yorion when it doesn't get any value. Alright, so they do take a counter spell. Probably the Absorb. I can't counter that because I need to be able to counter the Kaya that they might have. I do have 9 mana next turn. When I get to 10, I can play a Trawler with out-of-air backup for the Tithing Blade or Wrath. Play the one that they know about. If I draw a trawler, I might just slam it. Because if they resolve a Yorion, they'll just take it. Or another one of those. I don't want to have to counter that. So I probably would play a trawler. But there's a good chance to have Tithing Blade and either another Tithing Blade or a Wrath, which I wouldn't be able to beat. I don't actually need to do anything about this other than Colonnade. And I do have Out of Air up, so I guess they're trying to bait it out so they can Tithing Blade. I probably would counter that. Maybe they just didn't know about it, or didn't think about it. I probably would counter a Tithing Blade, because I like the Colonnade, and also, if they have a Tithing Blade in play, they just need to play a Guardian of Girapur to kill a Trawler. But they don't actually have anything. I think that was just, they didn't notice the Colonnade. So I was going to attack here while holding up Out of Air, but I would rather play the Deduce, I think. I think I will main phase it. I'll hold the second one so I can hold up 2 Out of Airs. Probably don't counter Yorion now. It's just a 4/5. And I can either Path or Wrath that. I probably wouldn't counter something like a Blade's Place here. Ideally they would play that plus another creature. There's a Splicer. I guess I'll draw. I won't need 2 of these. Definitely won't counter that now. I wasn't going to before though. I don't actually need to answer these because I have Colonnade. I probably will play a Wrath though. The question is which one? Probably regular Wrath. If I play regular Wrath, I can hold up 2 Out of Airs if one is on a creature. I don't think that matters. I don't think they're gonna have more than 2 creatures in play, so I'm just gonna use the Fumigate because it's more expensive. This does mean it's harder to use a Deduce while using Out of Air. That was potentially a reason to play the Wrath. I haven't played a Kaya yet. I don't know if they're just trying to bait a counterspell out first, or if they don't have it. Oath of Kai is annoying because now any kind of Nurturing Pixie or Yorion is actually threatening. I don't think I can counter that though. I might have to counter a Nurturing Pixie. Okay, that's a good draw. I don't think it matters what I have in there. I don't have a Midnight Clock in the deck. I probably want to Timeless. I have 10 mana. If I took the No More Lies, once I got 2 more lands, I would be able to hold up Out of Air and No More Lies. I could do that. Or I could take the Timeless Dragon to make Tithing Blade worse. I think I will. I could find a land and Eternalize. Now that I have the land, I think I'll just play it out. I probably would have regardless. If they have a path, that would be annoying. If they play a Tithing Blade, I might still want to counter it. Because I don't want to enable their blink spells. And they wouldn't be able to play a Kaya because I'd have a 5/5 in play. That's fine. That's one of their answers to Trawler. I actually have to counter a Nurturing Pixie right now. Yorion or Kaya, okay. I could have not done that because now I can't counter a Nurturing Pixie. I guess that doesn't really matter since I'm going to just play a Trawler here anyway. Potentially. If they play a Pixie, I will have to. So I have 12 mana, I believe. Which means I could hold up Celestial Colonnade, which is kind of the same as Out of Air. I actually can't do that because they could Yorion then. So Tithing Blade plus either Tithing Blade or Wrath would beat Trawler. But I do need 2 things, and 2 Wraths might work. Timeless is actually worse into 2 Wraths though, unless they use one on the Timeless like they just did. And if they play like Yorion, well, I guess Yorion isn't a threat if I play the Trawler. But if they have 2 things, even if they can't play them right away, I don't have a second counterspell unless I draw it off Trawler. I guess I will go for the Trawler here. They might just have 2 Tithing Blades since they haven't really been playing anything, which kind of implies that they have removal. But maybe they're sandbagging Kayas. I just concede, okay. So I don't think that is a single answer then. They did have Yorion, which they could have tried to play, because they put me to 3. Which would have been 1 off lethal if they cracked back. I mean, I could have chumped with Colonnade. I mean, I think they should have tried to draw to a Tithing Blade. But I think it should be pretty easy to win 1 game in the next 2. I think it's pretty hard for them to beat Approach. I think this is a Sacritor's deck, and it has 4 Nevermore in the side. If they had actual Lost Legacy, I think they would do a lot better. But I can Heliod's, I can repeal the Nevermore. So I don't think it's very effective against this deck. If anything, they'd want to Nevermore the Heliod's and then the approach. I do have to be aware that I'm in approach deck now. I don't know if I've played this person before. I kind of like Runed Halo. It's like a Condemn. It's pretty bad against Blade Splicer. Maybe not, since it doesn't work against Blade Splicer. The counter spells are good for dealing with Kaya and Yorgen. Jace is good anti-aggro. I'm not really sure what I can get rid of. Horned Lockwhale, not very good at being a removal spell. Could be Out of Air. But I think I'm mostly... The only non-creature I'm afraid of is Kaya. I don't know. Path is good for ramping into approach. I don't like it on their creatures that much though. I don't want to get rid of a Wrath here. Maybe I should. Okay. It's possible that I should leave Trawler in sometimes if I expect my opponent to side out all the Tithing Blades and Dams. Decent hand. Has the Deuce to look for land drops. And approach. I don't really like approach yet. I actually don't think I have a single thing that gets hit by the Visage of Dread. No artifacts or creatures, I think. Or I have the Novice Inspector. But that's not very... Like, I play it right away, usually. There's the Bunnicorn. I will No More Lies a Blade Splicer, most likely. I probably shouldn't have this for a stream. It's for Timeless Dragon, but Timeless Dragon is a one-of, so it's probably not worth it. I think I'm playing it over a Glacial Fortress. I mean, it kind of doesn't matter that it's a Plains Island if I don't have Glacial Fortresses in the deck. I could counter this. I only have Thassa's for the Kaya if I do that. And I could just Wrath this at some point. I'm gonna take some damage from that. I think that's fine. If I play on Nurturing Pixie, that would be annoying. It's possible that they don't have a land drop. They don't have either. Okay. That's a good sign for me. So next turn I can Wrath. I'd probably just keep the same board. Maybe play an Oath of Kaya or something. Maybe just put Yorion in hand. But they probably don't want to play a creature here. I assume this means they're just putting Yorion in hand. Post-combat Blade Splicer. I'm not sure about that. I guess they thought it would get countered. Or they thought the Bunnicorn would get removed. Or they kind of want me to Wrath because they have a Kaya. But they don't have a land drop. Unless they top deck it. Unless they just forgot about their land drop or something. That doesn't look like a Kaya. A Blades Placer, okay. I don't currently have a removal spell. That is a removal spell. If they play nothing here, they do just get locked out of the game by my counterspells. I only need one land drop, and I'm probably going to dig next turn. I can probably beat a Kaya right now. Okay, so they top decked the land, which was really their only out. What do I discard here? It can't be Approach, I think. It's probably just No More Lies. So Dig Through Time is 5 mana. I have 6 lands. So I could No More Lies plus Dig Through Time, but I can't Thassa's plus Dig Through Time. Okay, they actually don't even use the discard. Which means I might just win on turn 8. If I have Binding Negotiation, I will counter it. I won't be able to counter it later. So they need to like discard one of these and kill me before I play the second one, or play like a Nevermore. I hope I don't draw Heliod's. That's pretty big. I'll counter that. Next turn they have 5 damage. Which is not enough to beat Double Approach. They need something. I think this is the best way to not lose to anything. Because really their only out is a discard spell or a Nevermore, and this deals with both. If they -2 into Nevermore plus Binding Negotiation, they could just win. That's not likely at all, though. If they have both in hand, then they use the negotiation, they could realize that they need to find a land and -2. They actually do use the -2 for bid, I think. I don't see how they beat this, though. Okay, so they are just dead. Alright, approach. And that is round 1.